All
But
right, I have a question for you before we get into this next match. It's a semantic issue. So we keep saying one-off lethal, but is it really lethal? Because in this game, we're not murdering our opponent, right? We're racing them. So what's
exactly,
the correct terminology for this?
he
One
he was one off,
one step behind? No, this
one
is no.
step behind. He's one off victory.
Yeah.
It's an alternate win condition. You're right. That doesn't actually involve killing the opponent. So I mean, lethal. You're right. Is probably a misnomer here.
Yeah, yeah. Well, who knows? But probably just a semantic thing that no one else cares about, but I care. Darn it. All right. Once again, we see MyW with this sort of unfortunate no turn two play, drawing the perfect turn two play as his first draw. So, like, if he had had that celebrant turn one, man, that could have been great. Or who knows? His opponent could have just taken the man out. Like, either way. Maybe not.
All right. So do you repulsor beast the wings here just to
I
keep your
probably do.
tempo up?
Yeah, yeah, I probably do. Like, you just need to make sure that you're scurrying as fast as you can. Yeah, there we go.
Um,
Yeah.
I wonder about sending the wings over to the other corner because you're basically saying I'm going to need to deal with this later on in the game. There's probably some kind of tricky mathematical equation you could do to know exactly where to send it that's like near the center of the board where it's not close enough to really interfere with you,
You could
but
prop.
still far away from the other side of the board where it can't gum you up later too hard.
He could have put the repulsive beast here and then even traced it like right here and just moved up. Like, but I don't have any objection to him moving it to
Yeah,
the other
because
side
then
of the board.
the wings would just be able to step two up and then summon another minion in front of them. So it would probably be like the spot in front of the repulsor beast would be like the best play. I don't know. You
Yeah.
still get to move it slowly back towards the bottom right corner. So at the end of the day, I suppose it doesn't matter.
Side note for those who are just joining us, this is a game called Duelyst, and you can find more information by going to their download page, which I don't have a link for or anything like that. But more importantly to me is
It's playduelist.com,
there you
right?
go. This is a custom format called the Amazyng Race. So what players are doing are trying to race around the board rather than kill their opponent as you normally would in these types of games. So this is sort of a weird custom format. If it seems bizarre what's happening, that's the reason why. Side note, remind me after this we'll do another giveaway for some free orbs.
All right, awesome.
Yeah. All right.
So thank you for joining us today for this alternate format. Already MyW now claiming the second corner on his home base, and he's going to start making his way through the top row of the map.
Yeah. All right. So we got Gil4 dropping a Heartseeker, which maybe will be able to mess around with his opponent's stuff and start the process of making his way across the board. Looking at the hands, that is a good pickup for Gil4. I was gonna say it looks like MyW's got a pretty solid hand comparatively, but picking up that bangle right there is gonna be key to Gil4's victory, I think.
Yeah, because he's got the inner focus and Death Strike seal in hand. So now, this battle paddle is going to be cleaned up pretty easily here. But
Yeah.
now he has the option to spawn a Heart Seeker, right, and have that additional removal or a Battle Pando drawn into his hand later on. So this is definitely a very well spread out hand. I'll say he's got a lot of options.
Ooh, look at that. Incineroar coming down, letting MyW race across the board. This is like an even better bangle, really. Like, because if you have Time Maelstroms in your deck, which we haven't seen from MyW, it lets you move 8 spaces in a turn rather than just like 2 or 4.
Ooh, that is really rough. But he's got the bangle here. He's also got enough mana for the Death Strike seal, so he can actually have his Heartseeker clean up this Incineroar if he wants.
Yeah, I think that you pretty much have to do that, right? Like, you can't let Incineroar hang out.
Exactly, because then MyW gets to walk all the way over to the other corner.
Yeah. All right, so Gil4 picking off the most oppressive creature on the board, solidifying sort of like one of his corners and making his way across the board with the bangle equipped. That's pretty dangerous. We do see MyW with basically a full hand, though. So, I don't know, he could Tracer into this last corner and then equip the Wildfire Ankh and then blast the Heartseeker, right? Could he do
I don't
that?
think he doesn't have enough mana. Unfortunately, he's
So,
up to 6 mana this turn.
so you can move here, play the Tracer here. One, oh, nope, he's one off.
Yeah, so I think you do have to sacrifice a turn to kill this Heartseeker.
Ooh, what
It
about this? Move forward 2 here, Tracer right. Ah, no, he's not close enough again. I was gonna say you could
I know it's
could
so
ephemeral shroud it.
frustrating. He's because he's one off of doing the Tracer into the Ankh unless he takes that mana with it. And either way, he's still going to be off a turn of getting into that corner. But it's just a way for him to.
Oh, he's doing what I had thought of earlier. It's not
Okay.
quite perfect, but it's good enough. Like you have
Right,
to deal with the Heartseeker.
just so that it gives Gil4 a harder time dealing with the Celebrant in the corner.
Yeah, he does have a Ghost Links, unfortunately for MYW, because he'll be able to Ghost Links that Celebrant out of the way. And we'll see if that's going to be...
He's got the Rust Crawler!
Yeah, Rust Crawler is pretty tech. I'm not surprised to see that in the list, but at the same time, it's sort of like, oh, wow, all right. I mean, there's no way to really deal damage to the opponent, so Rust Crawler seems like a great addition to an Amazing Race deck, right?
Yeah, because all of the artifacts that we've seen use, Spine Cleaver, Wildfire Ankh, Bangle of Blinding Strike, are just really, really... Even Godhammer, which we saw a little bit earlier on in T2K5's deck. Really great answer for that.
Yeah. Well, this looks like the last turn. How does MYW win here?
He would definitely need Time Maelstroms or something.
I was going to say, yeah, Time Maelstrom would have to be key here. He does have Wildfire. No, okay, all right, hold on.
Yes, and he doesn't even have an artifact, so he has to like get to the top corner, kill the Wings of Mechazor and the Rust Crawler to get those out of the way, and then walk all the way down.
Yeah. All right.
Well, man, it's rough.
He's got Golem Metallurgist into Dreamweaver into Silhouette Tracer. So he's going to be able to make it all the way. He's going to be able to block the corner here and then make it down towards the bottom after he touches the top left corner.
Right. So here now he's hoping that this body block that he's come up with is going to be enough.
Yeah.
But actually, now that we're looking at it, he would need probably a Golem Vanquisher or something here, because looking at Gil4's hand, he's got the juxtaposition. He'll be able to swap that minion in the corner.
Not to interrupt, but I think the issue here is that he had Bangle, so he putting the 2/3 in the corner, he could deal a point with his Heartseeker, even though it was dispelled, do 2 points and kill it with his general, and then just walk in with his second action. He needed to put Silhouette Tracer there. I don't know if that would have done it, but I think that's what needed to happen. So we see Gil4 with the victory over MYW, which is the third time we've seen that particular matchup. What are your thoughts? Bangle too strong?
I think that it's really hard to tell because we've seen that deck lose. I think that with the addition of the Death Strike seal to move minions out of the way is what really kicked that deck into hyperdrive. So maybe because of all of the additional movement that Songhai has available to it, Bangle might be too strong. Yeah. But we might need to see how everything shapes up because they've got, again, the Mist Walking and then the ability to return the Mist Walking back to their hand, which was in the last Amazing Race was the point of contention where people thought that Lore Master was too strong because it was allowing people to recycle Mist Walking. And I think that with players having the lack of tech for artifacts, it makes Bangle a bit too strong. So we could easily see an environment where players are just teching in Rust Crawlers, and then Bangle doesn't really become an issue.
Here's my thing. So Bangle's really strong when the general can move, but what we haven't seen so far are strategies that rely on stunning the opposing general, right? Like we haven't seen
Frigid Corona, Beam Shock.
exactly. So those are two really valuable strategies, I think, and two very strong Amazing Race factions that
That we
really
just haven't seen represented.
Yeah.
Right.
really shut down the opposing general's ability to move and basically turn Bengal into a do nothing card. And I think in the Songhai Vanar matchup, Bengal is just the joke there.
Yeah, because then you get access to Warbird.
Yeah, and against Lionar, where you got a bunch of provoke minions, like it just doesn't seem very strong in those matchups. And like the Mirror or against Vitruvian, it's incredibly powerful. But
Exactly. I think that this is just an environment that's really allowing Bengal of Blinding Strike to shine.
yeah, people, yeah, Meme Shock saw plenty of that in the previous race. The first the second Amazing Race, our very first match, saw 6 Beam Shocks in the first 3 turns because people kept getting it back with LQ and Loremaster. That was great.
Yeah, they kept trading the same Beam Shock back and forth, and nobody got to move.
Yeah, that was awesome.